Welcome to the League. Welcome to the League, a DBNC business talk show where bold ideas meet bottom lines and doing business in Nigeria moves from potential to playbook. I am Coach Linda Uneze, your host. On today's episode, our topic is on building a food chain for health and sustainability. And we are joined by a global leader that has worked with global firms and currently building a homegrown company that is focused on delivering healthy drinks. We are joined by the founder of Fresh County, Amaka Emmanuel. Please join me as I welcome her to today's episode. You're welcome, Amaka.
Thank you.
So good to have you here today.
Thank you, Coach Linda.
You look amazing. Is it the drinks by Fresh County?
Oh my God. A little bit of the drink.
Yes.
And then a little bit of mind. You have to choose to have some peace.
I agree. You know, I'm one of your biggest customers. I would say, I don't know, maybe I should brag about that, but I order your drinks every week because I do like freshly made meals. I love eating healthy. You know, fresh juices are my thing, so I order every week. And it's interesting to see how your business is growing from when you started in Lekki Phase 1. Now you have a branch in VI. Are there other branches or are there other areas you're exploring in the future?
Okay, yes, just in a nutshell. Yes, our flagship store started from Lekki Phase 1. And honestly, I must say thank you. You're a very good customer. And your feedback from time to time has actually helped us to grow. So our flagship store started in Lekki Phase 1. We opened it in 2015. Then we opened another location in VI in 2017. We have a corporate office there. We have a factory. And then we have storefronts as well. And we also have another location in Lekki Phase 1, right-hand side.
Near, right?
No, not really. Lekki right-hand side.
Okay.
Olubimi, close.
Okay.
Then we have another one at the entrance of Orchard Road, Ashley Small. So we have 4 storefronts where you can come and dine in. And then we have a warehouse as well. And then we have the factory.
Amazing. Congrats on your growth.
Thank you.
Congrats. So you have spent over a decade at the intersection of agriculture, agri-technology, nutrition, and entrepreneurship. In your view, what are the most critical gaps in Nigeria's food supply chain today? And how do you think Fresh County is addressing those needs?
I would tell you how I actually decided to come into this field to be able to answer this question. Because ideally, I'm a telecoms professional, so I've never been into food or agriculture. But at a certain time, each time I go to my village, I usually see the level of waste that goes on there in the area of fresh produce, the area of fruits, in the area of vegetables. And it's usually because they don't have means of preserving it. And then when I come back to the city, I don't get those things the way I want to have them because it's not readily available. So I was just thinking to myself, the first time when this dawned on me, I said, these farmers are actually losing money because sometimes they have to dump some of their fruits. Like my place, they have lots of cashew. The cashews are wasting. So you can just eat the cashew, they're after only the nuts. Meanwhile, there's a juice in the cashew and it has its own nutritional value. Then you come to the people that farm vegetables. They can only keep it for 2 days. After 2 days, they have to throw it away if they don't have good market for it. And I watch how much these farmers put, the labor they put in growing these things, the time they put in waiting for it. So when I came back to Lagos at the time, I said, I love to eat fresh fruits. And I don't get it all the time. So what do I do to be able to see how I can bridge this gap? So it dawned on me that these people are having an access to market problem. And those of us in the urban cities, we're also having a nutritional issue. We don't have foods that are very fresh and natural. We have a lot of store-bought, prepackaged things that we eat here. So I just thought about it, and I said, it's time for me to find how to solve this problem and see how to bridge the gap. So the major gap I noticed was how to get fresh fruits, fresh vegetables direct to consumers in a very good state.
Amazing. So currently, you talked about, also supporting farmers, right? What you have done has helped farmers move farm produce to consumers. What challenges do farmers face at the last mile, and how is your model addressing those inefficiencies?
At the beginning, it was hard because we may order some things from some local farmers, and by the time it gets to us, half of it is already damaged. Over here in Nigeria, it's not as if we have very good rail transport, and even our air transportation. It's not all the time you can move farm produce by air to your location in somewhere like Lagos. So in the beginning, we were doing road travel, and because of all the hurdles they face on the road, sometimes when it comes, half of it is damaged. So we started to think of what to do, and then we invested in cold chain transportation so that the cold chain vehicle can be able to keep it, preserve it, and get it to Lagos. So even if it stays 2 days, 3 days on that journey, when it comes to us, it's still fresh. And there are some kind of things that also when they harvest it, we have to process and we have to blast immediately so that we can be able to retain the nutritional value of that fruit and be able to sustain the lifespan of that fruit. So we had to do that to be able to get items from the local farmers to our production centers in Lagos here.
So how do you then balance affordability with quality nutrition, especially with the issues around food insecurity? How are you doing that as a business through Fresh County?
As an entrepreneur, I always say that you have to be able to work with what you can control. Not everything is within your control. Now, the insecurity is affecting our cost quite all right, because there are some places we usually source raw materials from that we don't even go to any longer because of insecurity. I give you an example, something like tiger nuts that we used to source from Far North Maiduguri. At the time, it was impossible. It was impossible to access it. And then we need to start looking for nearby states to be able to source it. In order to balance pricing and the costs which we are incurring because of this moving here and there, we started a cooperative society. We gathered a few farmers, and we had to educate them on other things they can help us plant. Let me say, for example, if you farm just potatoes, we got some people that could educate them on how they can maybe add like corn, like sweet corn to it. So we can have 2 to 3 items to take from a particular location. So it's not just one product we're getting from that location. Then if you talk about cost to consumers, there's also a limit to which we can control that. So what we did recently is that our NGO arm of Fresh County, we started an initiative 2 years ago, which we gather people and we talk to people and youths and also mothers to educate them in the area of urban gardening, because it can also help us. So many of us living in the urban areas, like in the areas where we have our businesses in Lekki, they have a lot of compound space. At least they can cultivate 1 or 2 vegetables, and your excess, we can buy it. It will save us costs going to the north, going to the east, going to the south to be able to bring some of those things. So we just find a way to mix and match different forms of solution to be able to balance our costs. So there's no one way that we're doing it. So this is just the way we're doing it for now.
It's interesting. So, but when people think of healthy living, they think it's pretty expensive, especially in Nigeria, right? Buying healthy meals are more expensive than fast food, for example, or even, taking fresh juices can be more expensive than buying juices that are processed, processed drinks, so people think healthy living, sustainability is luxury. So how do you convince consumers to invest in healthier, sustainable food systems and, also in a very ethical manner as well for people who would like to invest in businesses such as yours? What would be the catch for the consumer and the investors?
And the investor. Okay, that's fine, because I was going to separate it.
Yes.
So for the consumer, let me start with the consumer part. For the consumer, it's about education. You know, when we started, it wasn't easy for us to convince people to buy from us. So many times we did a lot of free giveaways, and we did a lot of education as well. For instance, something as simple as orange juice. People did not see why a cup of orange juice would go for 700 and a bottle of carbonated drink is going for a cheaper price. And they will tell you that is actually an orange drink. So we used to do a couple of demos. So we usually will ask our customers, we'll ask them how much does a single orange cost in the regular market. Maybe we'll say a single orange costs maybe 50 naira or 100 naira. And then we squeeze it and see if it will get to half of the bottle of the carbonated drink. And we'll all see that it couldn't get there. So we usually ask the consumer, do you think this is fresh orange you're taking? Because mom will say, I never thought about it. I just saw that they wrote orange on the pack, so I just drink it. I said, it's not fresh. Now I have to correct something here. Fresh County is not just here to say people should eat healthy because of just the story of healthy living that is going about. No, we're saying eat natural. That's what we're saying, eat natural. So some people are not fans of fruits and vegetables. Some people don't like vegetables at all. So we say, at least if you don't eat, if you know you can't chew your vegetables, let's juice it for you in a way that is palatable to your tongue. So we'll mix and match the vegetable in a way the person can be able to take it in. So we did a lot of education to be able to convince consumers to eat healthy. We did some things with school children because a lot of kids, they never knew what a real apple juice was. So when we're running apple juice in a glass and we're running the packet apple juice, they pick the packet one. And when we show them the one that is a real one, because of the color and it can oxidize when it has contact with oxygen, they say that's not apple juice. So we educated a lot of kids to be able to help them know the difference and so that they can also choose right. And in the process, their parents were also learning from it. So we did a lot of education to be able to convince consumers. That's one. Then in the area of investors, there's a lot to do in this space. A whole lot to do in this space. We actually need people to come into this space because the market is large. Look at the population of Nigeria. We're over 200 million. And how many of us are operating in this space? We're not enough. We're not enough. So we need people to come in to support the farmers in the area of mechanized farming. We need people to bring in investment to support the farmers. We need people to come and support the farmers also in preservation because they cannot preserve this thing. And we're just one little business and few people. We're not much in this space. So a lot of farmers need support from investors. And they're not saying, do a giveaway. You can come in, make the journey with the farmer, and you make your money. We also support some farmers to cultivate. And when they finish farming, we buy the farmland off them so that all the produce coming from it comes to us. Then if you come in the area of food processing, that's another very huge market. Value addition. You know, as an investor, you can choose you don't want to deal with a farmer because not everybody wants to deal with farming process because they feel it's maybe dirty or so. You can come into the processing space. You can add value to the raw material and still make your money out of it. You can also come into the space where you can bridge gap between the farmers and the consumers and be able to do direct to consumer. You will also make money from it. So there are so many areas. You can even come in the space of education. Look at how we're living now. A lot of people, there's a lot of health issues everywhere.
Yeah, it's interesting that you're able to match profitability with impact.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you're doing, as a business. And that's something that is commendable also.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is commendable. But are you using technology, in transforming your business operations? And if not, what are the concerns?
The first thing that we thought about in our business is how to make our production, support our production process with technology. Now, when you come to our juicing processes, we are conscious of the kind of equipment that we use. So this is an area we've not started talking about a lot. Now, most of our equipment are made by high food grade stainless steel. things that will not rust, things that can process it properly, and we limit human interaction with those things, with the fruits, so that we can avoid any kind of contamination. So we ensure that we're dealing with brands that would help give us such solutions. Now, that made it not easy for us to start Fresh County because it made it capital intensive. Normally, people feel that juicing business, you just need a little money, a table and a little juice and a little blender, but it depends on how you want to start it. We did not start our business like that. We started our business with the topmost range of equipment in the world because we can compete worldwide. That's how we position Fresh County. Fresh County is a business that is positioned for international competition, not for local competition. So in the area of technology, we use it a lot. Then even in the area of managing our customers, reaching our customers, we use technologies. We use technologies to link our consumers and our farmers, and we, Fresh County. And we also use technology to interact with our customers as well. If customers come into our store, we have softwares that manage, like CRM softwares, that manage our customers' data and our service. We also have other kind of softwares that manage kitchen, production process. We also have the softwares that we use to manage our accounting process. So we're working with technology a lot in our business.
What would you say it's the biggest barrier you've encountered running this business and operating in Nigeria?
One of the biggest actually is ability to move raw materials to our factory. That has been our biggest challenge. You know, like I explained from the beginning, when we started and we thought about equipment for processing, we did not know that we need to do huge investment in the area of cold chain. We didn't know that. So we had already put one leg in when we saw that arm of the business. So we had to look for a way to raise funds from friends and family to be able to invest in that area. And in as much that we invested in the transportation, it did not end there. When it got to us, we noticed that we cannot run the business with regular freezers. We started investing in blast freezers in our location. Because when it comes, we have to blast immediately. As simple as a juice, as simple as a pineapple juice, as simple as an orange juice, when we manufacture, the ones who manufacture from our VI office, we cannot move it around. We have to blast it, even if it's for 15 minutes, so it can be very cold. Then we'll transport it into the cold chain van that will move it from that location to the other locations where it's supposed to go to. So we didn't factor that, actually. We thought we could have a little bit of freezers and refrigerators, but when we started the business, we saw that was needed.
Okay, so back to food insecurity. Let's touch on collaboration, right? How do you think private-public partnership can help rebuild trust and drive scale across Nigeria's food ecosystem?
Actually, the food insecurity issue, it cannot be addressed by one sector. It can't. The government cannot do it alone. The private cannot do it alone. It's mandatory that there's a partnership. It is because in the area of food, normal insecurity going on in the farmlands, government is needed to be able to safeguard and protect Nigerians so that they can go back to the farm and be able to cultivate. Government is needed 100% there. Then in the area of value addition, adding value to the crops when it's harvested, private sector is needed. Entrepreneurs are needed in that sector. So I always try to talk to communities and to youths. We, through our NGO and our cooperative arm, we try to talk to the communities that we patronize. We advise them to come together and build a cooperative of like 50 persons minimum. So we educate. We partner with people that understand seeds and how they should be farmed, and we educate. So at the time when we're moving from one rural area to the other, we noticed that we had a lot of issues with our farm practices. That's the way the things are planted. I give an example. I don't know if you noticed recently a video was going viral about how people use funny things to soak their cassava.
I've seen that.
We dealt with this particular issue we started dealing with it in maybe 2018. That's when we started dealing with this. It's just coming out publicly, but we met all these things. So we gathered people in different communities in Enugu State, in Plateau State, and also we got the way to Maiduguri. We gathered people in this community in Imo State. We gathered farmers, and then we brought in some other partners to come educate them. They were thinking they were just making money, increasing their profits, but it was also telling on them. For example, my hometown, we actually even carried a survey. At the time I went to my village, out of every 3 houses, 1 person has an eye issue or diabetes or BP, and it wasn't there before. So we had an interview. We interviewed a lot of elderly people to find out what is the cause of this. Some people said their children send them Indomie. That was what some people were saying. But when we spoke to the elders, most of them said they don't even eat it. And then I asked, even down to my own mom, she still farms she has a small garden in the compound. Then I started to question, what is the cause of all these illnesses? Why was it not there before? We decided to visit the farmers, and we started noticing their processes. Then I want to talk about public sector again. The public sector also helped us as Fresh County. When we're going through our certifications in the area of NAFDAC, because we have over 10 products certified by NAFDAC, they really helped us because there are some things we didn't know as well. So they were the ones that came, they put us through, this is how it's supposed to be done. They questioned some things we were doing, and they gave us a lot of corrections so that we can be able to meet up with standard internationally. So we also have, our facility is also certified by FDA. So that is also high standard as well. So all these public sectors, they are needed to be able to help us, the private sector, to do things the right way.
You know, I like the mindset that you have. You're speaking very positively about our regulatory agencies. Some people tend to speak negatively about the regulatory agencies, but you're seeing it from a positive, place, which I like. You're seeing it as an avenue for growth, and your interaction with NAFDAC is what has taken you to where you are. Your interaction with LIRS and FIRS, so that's positive feedback, and I like that because we tend to focus a lot on the negatives here.
Why sometimes some entrepreneurs feel like that? It depends on what brought you into the marketplace. If you want to do things right, you need help. Those people are helpers, in as much that we feel they take from us. What they are taking from you is not even up to what they are giving you. Example, the tax offices. If the tax offices didn't come, we will be losing money. We may be busy pursuing fruits and vegetables and attending to customers, and you don't know how your books are doing.
Okay, so before I let you go, I have a question for you, the last question. If you're in a room filled with overwhelmed entrepreneurs and you have 60 seconds to say something to them, what would that be?
This is a question I would answer with a lot of passion, but I'm not allowed to stand up here. You see, I'm one of the people that believe that Nigeria will work. Nigeria will work if we can come together. And we have a lot of youths. And I see people going about talking about how there is no job. You have to start somewhere. You must be able to sell something. You must be able to build something. I need you to know, look inward, look in your home, look in your environment, look on your street. There's something you will be able to do. I have a book coming out. It's about what I mentioned here called urban gardening. Put something in the ground. Put something in the ground. Any seed, put it in the ground. The stem of your vegetables, put it in the ground. It is going to grow. And if you cannot consume it all, there is a market of people that can pick it up. So I just want to say that I know the terrain has been rough, but just have a bit of hope. Put in the hard work. Wake up every morning and come out. Do something good for the nation. And in the nearest future, we are all going to smile. Fresh County is a young business, but right now we have over 80-something youths working for us. That's an empowerment. You can be another person that will take up even 1,000 youths. So let's collaborate, let's come together and make this journey a reality. You can do it and I can do it. Let us also hold our government accountable. Follow the rules and the regulations that the government put in place. Then let's see government play its own part. So I just want to say, dear entrepreneurs, please be calm. Take a deep breath when you're stressed. Talk to your fellow entrepreneurs. Join community. We can all make this country better. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Join a community, you know. No man is an island, they say. And thank you for that. It's been interesting talking to you.
You're welcome.
And to our guests, thank you for joining. We have been talking to the Group CEO and founder of Fresh County. And I hope to see you soon. My name is Coach Linda Uneze. See you next time.